What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope all's good wherever you are. In this clip, you're going to watch a CNN anchor be completely baffled by the fact that Biden has the lowest approval rating of any president in history. How is that a shock to anybody? But first, we're going to watch Scott Jennings give his take on Biden's low approval rating. Let's get it.
Donald Trump right now is at the apex of his power. He's more popular than ever. His ideology is more popular than ever. And I think it's in large part because people were comparing the results of Biden and Trump won and saying, we're going back to Trump, and this was a lot better than what we got under Joe Biden. So I think a lot of his legacy, frankly, is going to be bookended by the fact that he and Obama gave us Trump the first time, and then he gave us Trump 2.0, stronger than ever. Joe Biden made some promises that he was going to be an honest president. He wasn't. That he was going to be a moderate president. He wasn't. And that he was going to try to restore the soul of the nation. I don't think anybody believes that he did that. And on the way out the door, oh, by the way, he's pardoning his son retroactively for anything and everything going back a number of years. That did not sit well with the American people. So when you consider the inflation, Afghanistan, border, the pardons, and really Joe Biden not living up to what he said he was going to be, I think it's going to be hard for him to make a comeback in the near term.
So, yeah, I'm really proud, actually, of the work Joe Biden did for our country.
I got to say, I'm on my way to a ball. I think Paul's already been out to one already. I'd like to get into whatever he's drinking in the description of the Joe Biden presidency.
Some of that good Kentucky bourbon you gave
if everything you said was true, he should have had no trouble getting reelected, and he should not have a 34% approval rating. The truth is, on so many issues, he failed. And not only did he fail, but he and his people were dishonest with the American people about it, telling us the border is secure when it's not, telling us that the Afghanistan pullout was a wonderful accomplishment, and most damagingly last year, telling us that he was fit for office when clearly he was not. And the biggest cover-up in modern political history took place on his watch, and I guess at the direction of him and his top people. That is going to live with him for a very, very long time. Even Democrats now admit that Joe Biden was not with it, and they all went along with it too, and they have no one to blame but themselves. I do agree with what Paul said earlier. He should never have run for re-election, but the fact that he's now saying he could have won is delusional, and the fact that he's saying Kamala Harris could have won is basically saying she ran a crap campaign. So he's left his own party in somewhat political chaos.
Now let me show you the CNN clip of this lady being completely baffled by the fact that Trump's rating is so high and Joe Biden's was so low that at the end of the clip she can't even muster any words. She just says, well, tell me about the weather. It's terrific to see these CNN and MSNBC people getting their comeuppance. Let's go.
Senior data reporter Harry Inton. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
This is a pretty typical pattern, but these numbers for Biden seem especially low.
Yeah, they're historically, though. They're, I dare say, historically awful. What am I talking about here? Well, job approval at the end of the first term. I'm just looking amongst those who lost or didn't run for re-election. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to see which is the lowest number on your screen right now. And an average of polls, my average, Joe Biden's at 38%. He's actually lower than Donald Trump was at the end of his first term. Remember, at the end of his first term, everyone was saying Donald Trump's political career is over. Joe Biden's approval rating's even lower than Trump's was by just a point. He's lower than Jimmy Carter, who was at 44% by the end of his presidency. Not even close to George H.W. Bush, who was at 56%, saw a nice rebound. But the bottom line is this. Joe Biden came in to end the Donald Trump reign in this country, right? End Donald Trump's political career. And all that's ended up happening is Joe Biden has managed to end up at a lower approval rating at the end of his first term than any president on record, Jessica.
And how are people reflecting on his entire presidency at this moment?
Yeah, so if you think this approval rating number is bad, take a look at this particular number. All right, a good or great president at the end of their terms. Well, Barack Obama, 52% of Americans thought he was a good or great president at the end of his presidency, 2017. Donald Trump, very much behind Barack Obama at 36%. But look at how low Joe Biden is. My goodness gracious, you can't really get lower than 25% in our polarized era, because the bottom line is there's going to be a bunch of Democrats who would say that Biden was a good or great president no matter what he did. But yet it's only a quarter of the country who believes that Joe Biden was a good or great president. It is the lowest number since AP Nork started tracking this back at the end of Barack Obama's second term. Bottom line is Joe Biden goes out a very unpopular popular man at the end of a 50-plus year political career.
It's so interesting. And there's so many questions too about, like, are we so more divided now than we were back in 2017? Is it Joe Biden? There's a lot there to chew on.
Yeah.
I do want you to talk us through Trump's popularity at this point.
Yeah, so if Joe Biden's numbers are at his lowest point, right, Donald Trump's are right near his top point. We have a little thing up here. I'm so tall, I was managed to actually bump it. Look at this. Trump's record favorable rating. You know, you go back 4 years ago, he was at 38%. Look at where he is today, 47%. That is the highest favorable rating Donald Trump has ever registered in an average of polls. So what we're dealing with is something very interesting, whereby, as I was saying, Joe Biden's at his worst point. Donald Trump is actually at his best point, being with this such a high favorable rating. One other little last thing I will point out, because I want to get to the forecast a little bit, is just take a look at this. Will Trump be a good president? In January of 2017, you saw 48% for Donald Trump. Look at where we are today. A majority expect that Donald Trump will be a good president. So expectations for him are quite high. We'll see if he's able to meet those expectations, Jessica.
Yeah, and you mentioned the weather. How cold will it be historically?
According to the latest Fox poll, Trump's favorability rating hit an all-time high. He's at 50%. Meanwhile, Biden is leaving office with a record low approval of 36%. It seems Americans like our new president. The Democrats don't get it. What say you, Ben?
I think it's about more than just personality or communication or anything along those lines. I think it's about the policies. You know, you can look back at sort of the way that Joe Biden approached this when he was running for office, when he was running for the presidency. He represented himself as a return to normalcy. Instead, he gave us extreme policy after extreme policy that didn't benefit the American people. They've rejected that. They've rejected it wholeheartedly, and they're very optimistic and hopeful about what a return to Donald Trump as president will mean for them and for their bottom lines and for their lives. That's something that Democrats should wake up to and make for some real reconsideration of their agenda. I don't think that they've done it yet, and certainly Joe Biden hasn't at all.
Got it. Ben Dominic, thanks very much for joining us. We will see you again soon. Thank you, sir.
Oh, it's going to be a terrific day on January 20th. Hope you guys are all as excited as I am to see Biden get the hell out and see our man, number 45 and 47, get back in there, make America great again. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button for your boy. Consider subscribing to the channel, help it grow, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.